440 CM. The radio finally went silent. No static, no signal, no voice left to follow. Only the city breathing in the dark. After the last signal, the streets forgot my name. Street lights flicker through the cold rain, like they're trying to remember. After the last signal, nothing sounds the same. The city keeps moving without me, and I keep walking anyway. Yeah. The train station sleeps beneath concrete shadows. Departure boards frozen in time. Yesterday's schedule still glowing softly for passengers that never arrived. The newspaper rolls across the platform like a message nobody will read. Cold wind pushing through empty corridors, searching for something that left years ago. Storefront windows stare back lifeless, neon signs humming half awake. The whole district feels disconnected, like someone unplugged the world. I pass reflections in dark glass towers, but none of them look like me. Just fragments moving through fluorescent silence, shifting between memory and morning. No voices, no frequencies, no destination lights, only footsteps echoing through streets that forgot how to sleep. After the last signal, the streets forgot my name. Street lights flicker through the cold rain, like we're trying to remember. After the last signal, nothing sounds the same. The city keeps moving without me, and I keep walking anyway. Yeah. Traffic lights change for nobody, red to green and back again. The intersection waits in silence for rush hour that never comes. Rows of apartment windows stay dark, like stars extinguished one by one. Only a laundry mat still blowing somewhere beyond the overpass. A shopping cart drips through puddles, following invisible currents. The sound of metal against concrete feels louder than the entire city. Somewhere behind industrial warehouses, the sky begins turning gray. But dawn feels distant from this place, like morning lost its way. Maybe every signal ends, maybe every voice fades out. Maybe every city keeps a secret hidden beneath the rain. Maybe when the noise is gone, what's left is who we really are. Walking through the silence, waiting for daylight. Got my name, reflections shimmer in the rain, like ghosts beneath the pavement. After the last signal, nothing feels the same. The city keeps breathing without me, and I finally let it go. The radio never came back. Never return. Only the city, only the rain, only the sound of footsteps disappearing into dawn.
First 12 a.m. Platform 3. No departures, no announcements, just fluorescent lights humming above empty tracks. Empty platform 3, still waiting in the cold blue light. Departure boards frozen all night. Empty platform 3. Every Every train already left, but something keeps me standing here. Rows of metal benches sit untouched, holding dust instead of passengers. A coffee cup abandoned near the tracks, like somebody vanished mid-sentence. The station clock keeps moving forward, but nothing here seems to change. Every second feels disconnected from the rest of the world outside. Rain taps softly against skylights far above the silent hall. Echoes drift through concrete tunnels with nowhere left to go. Ticket gates blink green for nobody. Automatic doors open to emptiness. The whole terminal feels suspended between yesterday and dawn. No arrivals, no departures, no voices on the speakers, only echoes crossing distances that nobody remembers. Empty platform 3, still waiting in the cold blue light. Departure boards frozen all night. Empty platform 3, every train already left, but something keeps me standing here. Far down the tracks the signal flickers, then disappears into the fog, like a memory trying to survive one more minute before daylight. Newspapers scattered near the stairwell, pushed by invisible currents. The station breathes in long silences between fluorescent heartbeats. And advertising glows endlessly, selling futures nobody bought. Its colors feel strangely alive against the gray of morning. I wonder who stood here before me, watching tunnels swallow light, waiting for a destination that never appeared on the board. Maybe not every journey ends, maybe some remain unfinished, living inside empty stations long after the trains are gone. Maybe hope looks like this, standing beneath tired lights, refusing to leave, even when nothing arrives. Empty platform 3, still blowing underneath the dawn. Cold reflections stretch across the floor. Empty platform 3, every train already left, but I finally stopped waiting. The lights remain, the tracks remain, the station remains, only the waiting disappears. And somewhere beyond the tunnel, morning slowly arrives. 5:12 a.m. Platform 3, no departures, no announcements, just fluorescent lights humming above empty tracks. Empty platform 3, still waiting in the cold blue light. Departure boards frozen all night. Empty platform 3, every train already left, but something keeps me standing here. Rows of metal benches sit untouched, holding dust instead of passengers. A coffee cup abandoned near the tracks, like somebody vanished mid-sentence. The station clock keeps moving forward, but nothing here seems to change. Every second feels disconnected from the rest of the world outside. Rain taps softly against skylights far above the silent hall. Echoes drift through concrete tunnels with nowhere left to go. Ticket gates blink green for nobody. Automatic doors open to emptiness. The whole terminal feels suspended between yesterday and dawn. No arrivals, no departures, no voices on the speakers, only echoes crossing distances that nobody remembers. Empty platform 3, still waiting in the cold blue light. Departure boards frozen all night. Empty platform 3, every train already left, but something keeps me standing here. Far down the tracks a signal flickers, then disappears into the fog, like a memory trying to survive one more minute before daylight. Newspapers scattered near the stairwell, pushed by
every journey ends. Maybe some remain unfinished, living inside empty stations long after the trains are gone. Maybe hope looks like this, standing beneath tired lights, refusing to leave even when nothing arrives. Empty platform 3, still glowing underneath the door. Cold reflections stretch across the floor. Empty platform 3, every train already left, but I finally stopped waiting. The lights remain, tracks remain, the station remains. Only the waiting disappears, and somewhere beyond the tunnel, one slowly arrives. 5:12 a.m. Platform 3, no departures, no announcements, just fluorescent light humming above empty tracks. Empty platform 3, still waiting in the cold blue light, but departure boards frozen all night. Empty platform 3, every train already left, but something keeps me standing here. Rows of metal benches sit untouched, holding dust instead of passengers. The coffee cup abandoned near the tracks, like somebody vanished mid-sentence. The station clock keeps moving forward, but nothing here seems to change. Everything feels disconnected from the rest of the world outside. Rain taps softly against starlights far above the silent hall. Echoes drift through concrete tunnels with nowhere left to go. Ticket gates blink green for no.
Last departure canceled. The station closed hours ago, but nobody told the shadows. No trains after midnight, only echoes crossing empty rails. Cold blue lights above the platform, burning through the dark. No trains after midnight, every destination disappeared, but I still hear engines somewhere beyond the fog. The ticket office sleeps behind locked glass, computer screens frozen on no schedules. A flickering monitor near the entrance, still showing cities nobody can reach. Rain drifts across the outdoor tracks, turning steel into silver rivers, every rail stretching towards darkness like unfinished sentences. The vending machines glow faithfully, guarding empty terminal. Their fluorescent halos feel alive in a place that forgot motion. Far beyond the station fence, warehouse lights blink through mist, small constellations in the distance for workers I'll never meet.
No footsteps, no announcements, no voices on the air, only silence growing larger inside the night. No trains after midnight, only echoes crossing empty rails. Cold blue lights above the platform, burning through the dark. No trains after midnight, every destination disappeared, but I still hear engines somewhere beyond the fog. Yeah. A timetable hangs beside the staircase, pages curling at the edges like memories refusing to leave. Long after everyone moved on, the wind pushes through underground tunnels, carrying distant metallic sounds. For a second I almost believe a train is finally arriving, but nothing enters the station, nothing breaks the silence. Only reflections shifting slowly across rain-covered concrete. The city beyond these walls feels different, like another world entirely. A place where people still exist and life still means something. Maybe some journeys never stop.
start. Maybe some arrivals never happened. Maybe the hardest part of leaving is realizing nothing was waiting. Still the tracks keep running forward, vanishing into unseen places, as if they know a future the station forgot. No trains after midnight, only cold reflections on the road. The platform glows beneath the storm, like a memory fading out. No trains after midnight, every destination disappeared. And for the first time tonight, I stopped looking down the tracks. The lights remain, the rails remain, the station remains, but the waiting finally ends. And somewhere beyond the fog, another city wakes up. 5:41 a.m. The rain stopped, but nobody opened the curtains. The city stayed hidden. City of closed windows, thousands of lights turned off. Nobody looking down tonight, nobody looking back. City of closed windows, every story locked away, and I'm still walking underneath them, through the empty streets. Apartment towers rise like monuments above silent intersections. Floor after floor of darkened glass reflecting the colorless dawn. A bicycle leans against the fence, covered in yesterday's rain, like somebody meant to return but never found the time. The crosswalk signs keep changing faithfully, for roads with no traffic left. Green, red, repeating for nobody. Somewhere behind concrete walls, alarm clocks begin to ring, but the city still feels asleep, like it's refusing another day. No faces, no movement, no voices through the glass, only reflections floating silently across empty streets. City of closed windows, thousands of lights turned off. Nobody looking down tonight, nobody looking back. Every story locked away, and I'm still walking underneath them, through the empty streets. A laundromat glows on the corner, washing machines turning endlessly. The circular motion feels familiar, like thoughts I can't escape. Rainwater gathers beside bus stops, mirroring apartment lights above. For a moment the puddles look brighter than the buildings themselves. An elevator climbs somewhere unseen, behind rows of dark balconies. It's faint mechanical hum, crossing the silence like a ghost. I wonder how many lives exist behind those closed curtains. How many people feel invisible in rooms full of light. Maybe everyone is hiding, maybe everyone feels alone. Maybe entire cities survive by pretending they're okay. Still the windows stay closed, still the streets stay quiet. Still morning arrives without asking permission. City of closed windows, thousands of stories sleeping inside. Cold reflections shimmer in the glass, like stars that never appear.
searching for a face. The towers remain, the curtains remain, the silence remains. Only the night disappears, and somewhere behind a closed window, a light finally turns on. "3:27 a.m. Terminal lights still burning, flights delayed, destinations fading. Nobody knows where they're going anymore. Terminal lights blowing through the sleepless hours, cold reflections on the polished floor. Terminal lights, everybody passing through, but nobody really arrives. The departure screens flicker softly, changing cities every minute. Tokyo, Berlin, Chicago, names floating through the darkness. Rows of empty charging stations, blue LEDs blinking patiently, waiting for phones and travelers who already missed their flights. Rolling suitcases echo through corridors and vanish around distant corners. The sound lingers longer than it should inside this artificial morning. A cleaning crew moves like shadows across the endless terminal, their reflections scratching underneath them like ghosts beneath fluorescent skies. No final boarding, no last calls, no voices through the gates, only movement without direction inside the night. Terminal lights glowing through the sleepless hours, cold reflections on the polished floor. Terminal lights, everybody passing through, but nobody really arrives. Television plays muted headlines for an audience that isn't watching. Storm systems crossing distant oceans, problems drifting through other countries. A coffee shop stays open all night, serving strangers passing through, faces illuminated by laptop screens like tiny cities inside the dark. Somewhere beyond security checkpoints, a plane disappears in the fog. Its blinking lights becoming smaller until the sky swallows everything. I wonder how many people here are running from something, how many are searching for a place that doesn't exist. Maybe we're all passengers, moving between unfinished chapters, carrying old versions of ourselves through temporary destinations. Maybe the journey lasts longer than the place we're trying to reach. Maybe that's why nobody looks completely home. Terminal lights still glowing through the common dawn, cold reflections fading into gray. Terminal lights, everybody passing through, and nobody stays long enough to become a memory. The gates remain, the runways remain, the lights remain, only the travelers disappear. And somewhere above the clouds, another night begins. The waiting room is still open, the clocks still move, the lights still hum, but nobody is called a name in hours.
Ghosts in the waiting room, sitting underneath fluorescent skies. Shadows stretched across plastic chairs, like they never left. Ghosts in the waiting room, still holding unfinished dreams, waiting for departures that never come. Rows of empty seats face silent doors, like an audience after the show. A vending machine glows in the corner, its blue light filling half the room. The television hangs above reception, broadcasting muted weather forecasts. Storm warnings for distant cities that feel farther than the moon. The forgotten backpack near the window collects the first light of dawn. Nobody claims it, nobody notices it like it belongs here now. The air conditioning breathes steadily through vents hidden in the ceiling. Its mechanical whisper becoming the loudest voice in the building. No announcements, no departures, no footsteps crossing tiles. Only silence taking up space between the chairs. Ghosts in the waiting room, sitting underneath fluorescent skies. Shadows stretched across plastic chairs, like they never left. Ghosts in the waiting room, still holding unfinished dreams, waiting for departure that never come. A janitor slowly mops the hallway, his reflection sliding through the floor. For a second he looks transparent, like another traveler passing through. Rainwater gathers outside the glass, blurring parking lot lights together. The world beyond feels distant, like a memory losing focus. Near the reception desk, a digital clock changes numbers, minute after minute after minute, without changing anything at all. I wonder how many people stayed here longer than they planned to. How many lives paused briefly and never found their place again. Maybe every waiting room keeps pieces of the people who passed through. Tiny fragments left behind between arrivals and goodbyes. Maybe loneliness survives in places built for movement long after everyone leaves. Ghosts in the waiting room, still sitting underneath dawn. Fluorescent halos fading into gray. Ghosts in the waiting room, holding on to destinations nobody remembers anymore. The chairs remain, the clocks remain, the lights remain. Only the travelers disappear, and somewhere beyond the glass another storm begins. The waiting room. Front screen still glowing, one board still running, updating destinations for people who aren't here anymore. The last departure board, still changing names in the dark. Cities fading one by one, like memories losing color. The last departure board, still searching for somewhere to send me, but every destination feels further away than before. The terminal grows quieter each minute, Fluorescent lights surrendering to dawn. Outside the glass the rain has stopped, leaving silver reflections behind. Rows of canceled departures linger across the aging digital screen. Tiny red letters blinking softly, like a language nobody speaks. London, Seoul, Madrid, Tokyo, names floating through the half-light, each one carrying another life, another version of escape. A suitcase rests beside a pillar, without an owner anywhere near, as if somebody vanished suddenly between one decision and the next. No boarding calls, no final warnings, no voices through the gates, only destinations appearing and disappearing inside the glow. The last departure board, still changing names in the dark. Cities fading one by one, like memories losing color. The last departure board, still searching for some way to send me, but every destination feels further away than before. Morning leaks into the terminal, slowly turning blue light into gray. The artificial night is ending, but nothing feels more real. The cleaning car rolls through the hallway, its wheels echoing against tile. The sound becomes a temporary heartbeat, Orville building, learning how to wake. I watch the screen update again, removing another distant city. One less place to imagine, one less road not taken. Maybe that's what growing older is, watching possibilities disappear, until only the past we chose remain visible through the fog. Not every train was boarded, not every flight was taken, not every goodbye happened the way we planned. Still the board keeps changing, still the world keeps moving, even when we stay behind. The last departure board, still glowing through the dark. It's fading light across the floor, like a final invitation. The last departure board, no longer calling out my name, and somehow that feels okay. The screen remains, the cities remain, the possibilities remain. Only the urgency disappears, and somewhere beyond the terminal, the morning finally arrives. The night isn't gone yet, the city isn't awake yet. Everything exists between two worlds under fluorescent skies. Under fluorescent skies, the whole city glows pale blue. Street lights fading in the morning like stars losing their place. Under fluorescent skies, nothing feels broken now. Just distant, just quiet, just passing through. Convenience stores them softly on forgotten intersections, their windows shining brighter than the rising sun outside. Delivery trucks move through side streets like slow-moving shadows, crossing neighborhoods, still asleep beneath fading clouds. The laundromat lights remain on, turning circles inside circles, tiny galaxies of motion in an almost motionless world. A lone cyclist passes silently past shuttered storefronts, his reflection stretching through puddles before dissolving into daylight. No emergencies, no departure departures, no voices calling out, only morning arriving slowly across the city. Under fluorescent skies, the whole city glows pale blue. Street lights fading in the morning like stars losing their place. Under fluorescent skies, nothing feels broken now. Just distant, just quiet, just passing through. An elevator train moves overhead, its windows glowing softly. For a moment it becomes the brightest thing in the world. Coffee shops begin unlocking doors, chairs returning to sidewalks, the city rebuilding itself, one small movement at a time. The digital billboards still flicker, advertising futures and dreams, but somehow they feel less important than the light behind the clouds. I stop beside an empty crosswalk, watching colors slowly change, and realize I haven't checked the time. And what feels like hours, maybe peace isn't loud, maybe it doesn't arrive all at once. Maybe it appears quietly in places we almost miss. Between darkness and daylight, between movement and stillness, between who we were and who we're becoming. Under fluorescent skies, the city slowly comes alive, cold reflections turning gold across the pavement. And under fluorescent skies, for the first time in a long while, I stopped looking for somewhere else to be. The night remains, the morning remains, the city remains. Only the loneliness grows smaller, and somewhere above the rooftops, the sun finally breaks through. "5:36 a.m. The factories never stopped, the warehouses never slept. The city kept working long after the night gave up. Sleepless industrial district, steel and shadows in the rain, smoke drifting through fluorescent halos like ghosts above the rooftops. Sleepless industrial district, still breathing through the dark, while the rest of the city dreams of daylight. Shipping containers stretch forever, stacked like silent monuments. Red lights blinking on distant cranes against the fading navy sky. The railroad tracks cut through factories like scars across concrete skin, carrying freight nobody notices toward destinations nobody sees. Forklifts move through loading docks, their warning lights spinning slowly. Tiny stars inside an ocean of steel and machinery. The security guard walks alone past chain link fences and floodlights, his footsteps swallowed by engines older than the buildings around them. No crowds, no headlines, no city postcards here. Only workers, only motion, only time. Sleepless industrial district, steel and shadows in the rain, smoke drifting through fluorescent halos like ghosts above the rooftops. Sleepless industrial district, still breathing through the dark, while the rest of the city dreams of daylight. The river beside the warehouses reflects 1,000 scattered lights, turning black water into mirrors for things nobody looks at twice. A cargo train moves through the distance, its rumble crossing empty streets. The sound feels strangely comforting, like proof the world still turns above the smokestacks. Morning slowly gathers, painting gray across the skyline, one rooftop at a time. The district doesn't celebrate sunrise, it simply keeps moving forward, without applause, without attention, without stopping. Maybe beauty lives here too, hidden beneath concrete and rust. Not in the skyline people photograph, but in the work that keeps it standing. Maybe some places survive without ever being noticed, holding entire cities together from the shadows. Sleepless industrial district, the sky finally changing color, steel reflections turning gold across rain-soaked pavement. Sleepless industrial district, still breathing through the dark, and somehow it feels enough. The warehouses remain, the railways remain, the smokestacks remain. Only the darkness disappears, and somewhere beyond the industrial horizon, the city begins another day. $6:40 a.m. The rain finally stopped. The station disappeared behind me. The terminal lights faded. The city never asked me to stay, but it never asked me to leave. The city never said goodbye, it just watched me walk through the night, past empty stations, past fading lights. The city never said goodbye, it stayed silent the whole time, like it knew I'd understand before the morning came. The streets look different now, not because they've changed, but because I stopped searching for something they couldn't give. Storefront windows catch the sunrise turning gold for just a moment. The same glass that looked so cold only hours ago. The train tracks still run forever, the terminals still glow, the waiting rooms still hold their ghosts, and the departure boards still change. But none of it feels unfinished now, none of it feels lost. The city remains exactly the same, only my eyes are different. No final answers, no grand endings, no voice from above. Only morning, crossing rooftops, one block at a time. The city never said goodbye, it just watched me walk through the night, past empty stations, past fading lights. The city never said goodbye, it stayed silent the whole time, like it knew I'd understand before the morning came. Coffee shop open
opens its doors, the smell drifting into the street. The first customers arrive quietly, carrying ordinary lives. Buses begin crossing intersections, traffic slowly returns. The world rebuilding itself from the edges inward. The loneliness that followed me all the way through the darkness feels smaller beneath daylight, less permanent than before. Maybe some nights aren't meant to end with answers. Maybe they're meant to end with understanding. The signals disappeared, the train stopped running, the terminal's empty, the lights flickered, and still the city remained, breathing through every hour, waiting patiently for the and maybe neither did I. Maybe I was always part of it, even when I felt below. The stations remain, the terminals remain, the factories remain, the fluorescent skies remain. In the first light of morning, I finally found my way.